Hello and welcome to the Pots and Trowels Gardening Podcast with me, Martin, Jill and Sean.
Hi.
And we're not together today, we are in our own little individual studios. Lots happening in this episode. Jill and I have been down to the Garden Media event in London. It's an annual thing and we saw lots of wonderful people there, and we caught up with Arit Anderson, who you know off the television gardening programmes, Nick Bailey also from the television, and Tom Allen, not a gardener but getting into gardening. He's an actor, presenter and a comedian.
Yeah, and of course it's always great to chat to Arit because she's one of our Pots and Trowels friends. And for once, doesn't happen very often, but for once, Arit was actually speechless. And we'll hear more about that in a little while because she won a very special award at the event we were at. And of course, Tom Allen, I'm a huge fan of Tom's. He is involved with the Great British Bake Off, which of course, being a bit of a keen cook, I love watching. And I actually tried to get him talking about some vegetable cakes, but he wasn't that keen, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's a keen veg cake.
We need to get him back.
Yeah, we'll have to take him a parsnip cake or something next time we see you.
Yeah,
definitely. And also he's on The Apprentice. You've been fired over here in the UK. Anyway, we need to say thank you to our sponsors, Plant Grow, who are in Norfolk, and they make a range of wonderful garden products such as mulches and multi-purpose composts and houseplant boosters and liquid feeds, and it's great stuff. It's all produced sustainably as a byproduct from anaerobic digestion over there in Norfolk, and we like their stuff and we use it ourselves.
Yeah, and they were down at the Guild as well, so it was good to catch up with all the team there from Plant Grow. But if you're new to Pots and Trowels, if you've just found the podcast, just to let you know that we're out there every week. The three of us are talking gardening. We talk to somebody from the world of gardening and horticulture to find out a little bit about what they do. I give you some tips of things that you can be doing in the garden every week, and we also answer your questions. So any questions you've got gardening related, just send them in to us via our email, which is info@potsandtrowels.com, and we will answer them for you. So yeah, it's an all-encompassing gardening podcast.
Fabulous. Yes. Well, we need to go and meet Arit, who is inspiration for this podcast.
Arit, it's all your fault. The reason we started this podcast, the Pots and Trowel podcast, is you, because you were the one that gave us the idea and inspiration. So we are grateful for that. But we're here at the Savoy Hotel in London, and you have just received the most amazing award. Tell us about it.
Well, I have just received, I got to read it actually, the Outstanding Contribution Award, which I'm still kind of pretty, I mean, you know me, I'm not speechless often. So sort of hearing Alexandra reading out a description of somebody, and then more and more is being said, and you're like, oh, that's me. So that was quite mad. And I am genuinely thrilled, but emotionally overwhelmed. And of course, when I'm sat in a room of people who are just all so amazing. I mean, you guys as well. I love everything you do. You know, we always have such a fabulous time when we're together. And I am so glad that you did the podcast, because when I heard that you would not maybe be on your local radio station anymore, I was like, people need to hear what's going on the potting bench. So it was really good. Really good.
And it was amazing. We were sitting sideways to you, and as they were reading out,
we knew it was you. Whilst they were reading more things about the person who'd won it, we just thought, we know who that is. That's got to be Arit.
So what sort of things have you got planned at the moment, Arit? We know you're a very busy lady. What have you got planned for the future?
Well, the biggest thing, Martin, is Chelsea. RHS Chelsea next year, 2026. So lovely sponsors, Project Giving Back. It's their last year, so I applied. It's for Parkinson's UK. My sister has Parkinson's, so it's going to be very special, very personal, but also really important because it's a condition that is not very well understood. So bringing it to Chelsea, you know what that's like. It's a massive platform. So that's kind of the big thing that's in the offing as well. And then obviously everything around that, private client gardens and carrying on writing, and hopefully coming on to your podcast again at some point. We should do
We
that.
need to get you soon. And of course, we'll hopefully see you at some of the shows in the summer.
Yeah.
We want you on the potting shed stage.
Oh yeah, the potting shed, definitely. Because I think I've already going. Well, I think Badminton. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be there, but hopefully it's Sandringham, obviously Chelsea, and then of course as well. I tend to sort of pop up as you know, and quite exciting actually this this year, and we'll be seeing you at the Southport Flower Show, because that's a new one to me. So I'm hoping that that's really going to come off. Yeah.
It's a lovely show, been going a long time. It's a brilliant, very traditional show. So we're delighted that you're going to be there and you're going to come and see us. Yeah, so that'd be great.
Be brilliant. So yeah, I just have to, at this moment, still just kind of got the banana smile, but also stop crying. But yeah, no, it was very special, and just it's been great.
Yeah, well, very much deserved. Yes,
Absolutely, yes, and you could tell you really felt it, didn't you, when they gave you the award? Because there was not a dry eye in the house. Really,
it's the first time I've seen you lost for words for a few seconds. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's funny because as a little girl, on my school report would always be really, does well. Chatterbox, and so to kind of now have Chatterbox as my living is quite good. But yes, I was pretty rendered speechless for a minute there, and of course, like I said, because you've just got such many fabulous people in the audience that you just know and love. So yeah,
good.
Congratulations and all the very best. You well deserved, and we look forward to seeing you in the next gardening season. Arit, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. See you soon.
So coming up, we're going to meet Tom Allen, very funny comedian and actor, and obviously presenter on those shows, as we mentioned before. But I've got to take you to task, because this is yet again you two off gallivanting around to a swanky do. You could at least have video called me. I mean, come on.
I know, Sean.
I'll just sit in the studio doing the editing. Don't worry about me.
We were so busy eating vol au vents and drinking champagne. I just completely forgot.
It was. If you are watching this podcast on YouTube, then there are some pictures of us. We're all dressed up and in our poshest clothes, aren't we? So it was a lovely do. It was really good.
We will. I tell you what, we will endeavour to get you there. We haven't been ourselves for quite a few years, have we?
I will point out the fact that there was a Garden Media Guilds where we were nominated for something, but it was during lockdown and we had to do it on Zoom at home. So
that's right.
We had a bottle of wine, didn't we? You had a bottle of wine, I had a bottle of wine. I was sitting there watching the laptop, drinking wine on my own, thinking...
Well, I think next year the podcast, the Pots and Trowels podcast, needs to go in.
All right, well, we'll put in for it.
We'll work on that.
All right, fabulous. Hey, look, it's amazing that Arit's got this award. She absolutely deserves it. It's fabulous. I mean, speechless was she then? That's a new
She
one.
was, yes, and very emotional, bless her. We talked about that on the interview, didn't we? But it was lovely and so well deserved. And I think the whole audience were on their feet, gave her a standing ovation, and that just showed the love that everybody has for her, because she's just so graceful and gentle and
just so down to earth.
Unassuming.
What you see is what she is. There's no pretense with Arit. She's really lovely and genuine lady, and always happy, she said, to be on the podcast, so we need to get her again soon.
Well, exciting news about Chelsea, of course, so we will try and catch up with her along the build up to Chelsea and sort of see how that's developing, because it sounds a
so
really
is she designing the garden
garden
then? That's what I was intrigued by. Is it to do with Parkinson's, isn't it, which is close to
That's
her heart?
right, yes. I think her sister has Parkinson's, so she's designing a garden. I think it's probably one of these Parkinson's, maybe an RHS show garden. It'll be a big show garden there. It'll be absolutely amazing. So she'll be project managing the whole thing, essentially. So and it's a good cause as well, a really, really good cause.
And you'll be there, won't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say we'll be there. I'll be there as a guest, which is great, so I can have a really sort of slow saunter around. But you'll be there working, won't you?
Yes, I'll be judging. Well, I hope so. I had my official invite, but yes, I'll be there judging. Not the show gardens. I'll be judging in the floor marquee, wearing my bowler hat.
Your bowler hat.
But we will take the recorder with us and get a sneaky interview or two with her. Definitely.
We always try to cover a bit of Chelsea, don't we? Even if it's just after the fact, to comply with broadcasting regulations.
Exactly. Yes.
Just one quick thing. If you have got a question for us here over the podcast, do drop us an email. info@potsandtrowels.com is our email address. Drop us an email saying where you are in the world, and if you've got photos, that always helps. We'll come to some listeners' comments later on in the podcast after Tom Allen. But we've got to find out a little bit about what we should be doing in the garden, right?
Yeah, well, here we are now, end of November. Gardening is slowing down a little bit now, isn't it? So it's time to start planning ahead, but also there's something happening in a few weeks' time, in 3 weeks' time, called Christmas. Ooh. So I know it doesn't feel like Christmas to me just yet, but it's not far away. And lots of people are thinking at this time of the year of getting their Christmas trees, and a real Christmas tree, you know, they're so popular. I remember years ago, the only choice was the Norway spruce, which is the one that after about a week dropped all its needles and you could never get rid of them. You were hoovering them up for about 3 years, weren't you? Yeah. I always used to get in your socks and your slippers as well. But of course, nowadays we've got so many of these needle retention Christmas trees, things like the Nordman fir, the Fraser fir, the Sussex fir, which is a fairly new introduction. It's slightly more, it's a narrower shape, so ideal for smaller spaces because some of them can be spreading. So I know lots of people will be thinking of getting their Christmas tree within the next week or two to get it into the house. So just a few tips if you are buying a real Christmas tree. Don't bring it into the house too early once you've bought it. So select your tree wherever you get it from. They'll usually wrap it up, get it home. Then I would get a saw and chop off the bottom 2 or 3 inches, or a little bit more if you need to, of the trunk at the bottom, and just stand it outside in a bucket of water. Treat it like you would a bunch of cut flowers, because that will then start to drink water up. The longer you can leave it out before you bring it into your centrally heated house, the longer it will stay fresh. Now, I know the temptation is to bring it in straight away.
Yes.
But if you do that, make sure that you keep it somewhere slightly cooler. So don't stand it in front of a radiator or by the side of your log burner, because it will just crisp up. And put it in one of these containers that has water in it. So it's almost like a little vase. It's got a little reservoir of water, and keep that topped up. So it will keep drinking. But the cooler you can keep it, and the shorter the time in the house, then the better it will be. And they do look lovely, and they give off that lovely sort of Christmassy, piney aroma, don't they? So enjoy your Christmas tree.
Would it help to put some food in the water?
Oh, well, like a house plant.
Cut flower.
It wouldn't do any harm, would it? Certainly wouldn't do any harm. So yes. Nice. And then the other things to be doing as well. Again, we're getting into that sort of festive time. I've already done something by our back door. I like to have a little arrangement, not of flowers, but of plants. So we went to the garden centre and bought a few plants that look wintry. So anything with lovely evergreen foliage, maybe some winter flower, some coloured foliage. So we've got a lovely Nandina that's gone a bright red, skimmias, euonymus, all of those things, hellebores. You could either plant them up into a single pot and just have it as a welcome by your door when guests come to see you or friends, or we've just done them individually in nice terracotta pots and put them on a little stand, a boot stand by the back door, and it just is a nice little festive welcome. So when you come next time, Sean, you'll be festively welcomed by a Nandina. So do that. And then finally, my last thing to do, and this is last call really, if you've still got a bag of bulbs that you haven't planted, spring flowering bulbs.
Have you?
I have actually, yes. Not many, but we've had a wet spell, haven't we? We've had a frosty spell followed by a wet spell, and it's been so busy. But been talking to people like Tom Allen and all that. There's only so much that you can do. Get your bulbs in, that's what I'm basically saying. You've got a week. I'm going to check next week, and if you haven't got them in, you're in big trouble.
You're in detention, are you?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned bulbs and Tom, because that's the last video I saw of Tom, was him trying to work out what to do with bulbs, and he was very funny. So if you over on Instagram, Tom's got some very funny videos where he tries to garden. So as I'm a novice gardener as well, I play the novice in this podcast. I can identify with Tom, like looking at a bulb, looking at a pot, looking at some soil, and thinking, now what?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
no, totally. And speaking of, we should go over and listen to Tom and also Nick, who was there with you, who was hosting the Garden Media Guild Awards.
We're backstage now. We've just spoken to the wonderful Arit, and we've got Nick Bailey here and Tom Allen. Nick, you were the presenter of the awards, and everybody knows Tom Allen. I'm going to just start with Nick. How was it presenting to all those people?
Do you know what? I was calm and relaxed, and everything was going really well. And I looked into the audience and then saw this massive telly celebrity, and I was completely thrown.
Who was that?
That was Tom Allen.
Oh, you flatter me, Nick. It was such a lovely afternoon. I've not been to this before. I'd been invited actually, but I was unable to come before. But it was such a thrill. It was really lovely, and it was just so nice. I know you said, Nick, that it made you a bit anxious that it was peers, all your peers. But actually, I thought from my perspective, it looked like everybody was so on your side. It's a lovely community of people.
Oh, that's very kind. No, it's a real honour to be asked, and it's something like the 25th year I've been to this. And for you, Martin, there was 20 in the last 25 you've done?
Yeah, I joined in 95, so 30 years ago, yes.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So I remember back in the day when it was over at the, what was it called, the brewery something, at the Barbican?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, at least here you can kind of roll to Charing Cross afterwards.
Oh, yes.
The levels of drunkenness that occur at this event. I can now finally drink. I've had to remain entirely sober to make sure I could read they had to change the script for me. It was all printed in 0.6, and I'm a gentleman over 50. I can't read 0.6, and I'm too vain to put my glasses on, so it blew it all up on A3 for me. But you must do these kind of things all the time, Tom.
From time to time, yes. But
What's
it's
the
always
most obscure one? It's like the sort of Hessian Sack International Awards.
The International Hessian Sack Awards were big this year, and I was delighted to be booked. I like it because with these awards, you obviously get an insight into a little niche of the world, a corner of the world, which obviously with something like this people would know, but there are other areas. I just think it's quite fascinating. It's just quite sort of, it's interesting what different people get up to in their working lives, isn't it?
International Strip Light of the Year is always a highlight.
I did one for traffic lights, actually.
Traffic
I did one for
lights.
traffic
You
lights.
know an awful lot about Tom and the things he does. What I want to know, Tom, is because obviously we know you from the television, all the various things you do. You are so funny. You really are. I know I'm very kind. What about gardening? Because you are really into your garden, aren't you?
Well, I like gardening. I'm a proud novice, I always say. I'm learning a lot, and I make a lot of mistakes, and I just try it really, but I'm not an expert at all. And so I'm always keen to point out, I don't really know what ericaceous soil means, but people often mention ericaceous.
But you know the word ericaceous, so that's a start.
For a long time I called it eccricaceous, which I think confused people. And then mulch. There's a lot of talk about mulching amongst gardening, but I don't really know what that is apart from putting mud on it.
Yeah.
So are you edible, Tom? Are you?
Oh,
No, I'm human.
Edible or floral?
Could I just have a bite of your finger?
Please, you've said that before. I do a bit of both, actually.
Okay.
But I would like it to be more edible because it seems very practical, and I feel like it's a good way of engaging with, where our food comes from.
Yeah, it's a joyous thing.
Yeah, it is really magical.
And you can't go wrong with a courgette, right?
Well, you'd say that. I couldn't even get a courgette going. But cucumbers.
Where that was going. But
Yes, I thought about that. But a cucumber. I had a tough cucumber.
Okay, as in sort of a bitter one with spines.
Had spines and was quite tough skin, but I think I should have cross-pollinated or something.
outdoor one, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
That can do it. I've fallen foul. But you know what? You say you're sort of making mistakes, but I always say that literally is the essence of horticulture, is all those screw-ups that Martin and I have made that turn us into decent gardeners.
Yeah.
In the end, so.
Jill.
And Jill.
And of course, you can combine that edible garden with cakes, can't you? Which is obviously your other love in life.
Yes, I've not grown quite enough wheat to mill, but
I'm thinking courgette cake, beetroot, chocolate cake.
People do things like that, don't they? Yes, I should be more, or maybe I should grow like those edible flowers that some people put on food, but I've never been so inclined. But
Have you got a big garden, Tom? I would imagine somebody of your standing has got about 300 acres.
it's just a couple of farms, but no, it's just a standard sort of suburban garden. I think. I think it's 70 foot, but I don't really know what 70 foot looks like. A bit like when you're following traffic signals and they go in 100 yards, and I was like, what's 100 yards? I don't know, but I don't know. It's pretty standard. I think, kind of, I guess slightly old school in that it's a long garden, but.
And how have you enjoyed today here at the Garden Media Guild Awards ceremonies? You said it was your first one. Have you enjoyed being here with all these amazing gardeners?
Yes, tremendously, and that everybody is very welcoming, very always very friendly and very including. So I find inclusive.
And we sometimes see you at the flower shows, the RHS shows. Anything planned for next year? Chelsea, Hampton, badminton?
Badminton I'd like to go to. I'd like.
Could you do Sandringham? Because we're not at badminton. We'd love to get you on our stage at badminton.
I'd like to go to
Sandringham.
I'd like to go to Sandringham. I'd like to go to the Windsor one as well. But I don't know yet. I'd like to go. It was nice. Chelsea is lovely. I got to go on the Build Day last year, which was a real treat. Just to see it all coming together.
All the builders.
Well, of course, and it was all the builders who were very inclusive, and so that was a lovely afternoon. So
Brilliant. And what about you, Nick? Anything planned for next year?
Yeah, I mean, the stuff I'm most excited about is I'm now looking after Leicester University Botanic Garden, and we've just done a slightly mad planting scheme, which is 80,000 crocus bulbs in 4 different colours in a massive paisley pattern that's 25 by 25 metres on a huge piece of lawn. And so we're hoping come February they'll all come out at the same time, and it will look absolutely spectacular. It could, however, be a massive screw-up, and none of them will come up, or they come up at the wrong time. We will see. But yeah, that's exciting.
I'm sure it will work. I was there many years ago. It's one of those botanic gardens that is sort of not known that widely, so hopefully that will put it on the map for you.
Well, that is exactly the plan, Martin. So I'm hoping we'll get some sort of national press coverage, and it'll get people interested in Leicester. I mean, at the moment, folks, get down there. It is the last remaining botanic garden in the UK that is free to get into. But I'm going to put an end to that in the next year. So get down there quick.
Brilliant. And Tom, good luck with your cucumbers next year. I hope
you.
you're not spiky and prickly.
Bless you for saying that. Thank you.
It was great. Tom admits that he's a novice gardener, as we mentioned before. So it's lovely. And he's obviously really keen to. In fact, Tom, we ought to direct you to our gardening videos because, of course, as well as the podcast, we do weekly gardening videos. And if you want to watch any of those, and anybody new to this podcast, they are, if you just go to potsandtrowels.com, our website, that will direct you to both the videos and the podcast. And coming up, you were talking about Christmas trees.
Yes.
So coming up as one of our videos, just before Christmas, if you're stuck for a present idea and you want to give a homemade gift to somebody, we're going to be making a natural bird feeder with things from out of the garden.
I've forgotten about that.
So yeah, so watch out for that video coming up in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
We better do it.
I was going to say,
it's
it
all
sounds
under
like
control.
you've got it all planned.
No, I've got it ready. I know what we're doing. It's fine.
Fabulous,
So yeah.
fantastic. Oh, well, look, they are really useful videos, and we've got quite a treasure trove of videos going back for the last 5 or 6 years where if you want to know how to do something, be it to do with shrubs or bulbs or all sorts of different things in a garden, how to prune a hydrangea, for instance, we've definitely got a video on it. So go and check that out. But coming back to Tom, I was intrigued. What was it like to meet him? Because he's definitely a real character, isn't he?
You know you've met him.
Yeah, you do. He is a character, but he is exactly the same. You know, he was so friendly. We'd never met him before. Yeah. He was talking to Arit. Arit wanted us to have a chat with her on the podcast. So Tom said, "Oh, what's this, a podcast?" And I said, "Yeah, we do a podcast. Would you be on it?" And he said, "Yeah." So it was as easy as that. And he was really a lovely, friendly chap. I'd love to talk to him more about his garden.
Yes.
And give him, he's obviously very keen. It'd be good to give him some pointers.
We need to get
him on
you
the right
off
track.
down there and do some work.
Yes, Tom, I'm always available for a visit. So, yes.
Fabulous.
So, yeah, no, it was good. So thank you to all of our guests for being with us. It was great.
And just a quick heads up, next week we've got the Talking Heads podcast people on. That's going to be another, more famous people on our podcast.
Yes, that's right. Lucy and Saul. Lucy also won an award as well. She won two. Did she won for writing, was it? And she won an award for her radio broadcast that she does with BBC Essex. So, congratulations to Lucy. Yes, we'll have a catch up with them next week.
Yeah.
Right, time for a bit of back patting of our own, is it?
I think so.
We've had a few nice comments.
We have, and we recently celebrated our 100th edition of the podcast, didn't we? So we've had lots of lovely comments coming through on YouTube. One of our regular listeners, Andrea Bradley, said 100, woohoo! Congratulations to you all, and here's to many more. So thank you, Andrea. I think you've been with us right from the beginning.
And with the videos as well. Right from the beginning of the videos 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we've got Beth Lynch, 1909. Congrats on your 100th episode. I lifted my coffee cup to join in the toast. That's nice.
Cheers, Beth.
Cheers, Beth. Yeah, it's great, and it's great fun doing them, isn't it? So we love doing it.
Yeah,
any excuse for a chat.
Absolutely, and we just do have a chat, don't we? That's what I enjoy about this. It's not massively different to when we meet each other in the garden to do other work.
No, it's certainly not scripted.
That is for sure. We've had Nigel from Muddy Boots. He said congratulations on all on a wonderful production. And then there's emojis of champagne bottles and things like that. So
Yeah.
thank you, Nigel from Muddy Boots. Another great comment there. And we've had a few comments on some of the other videos. We did one on the Secret Garden of Louth recently, and George's Jungle Garden said, it's always great to see Jenny and Roger. Lovely chat. Fantastic to see around their beautiful garden at the end of the season. So that was nice.
And we were at Flora Media talking chrysanthemums with Stephen Routledge, and I think we're converting the podcast listeners to chrysanthemums, because a bit of a mixed feeling about chrysanthemums, I think, but the way that Stephen and Paula are growing them, certainly bringing out new varieties. And we've had a couple of messages, great flowers, what a joy, thank you. So it's obviously people who've watched it, and somebody else saying, I'm in love. Thanks. I'm assuming with chrysanthemums, not with Steve.
Or Martin. Or yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all possible.
And they are brilliant, because we got some off them, didn't we? A few chrysanths, which we've had in a vase, and we've now broken them down and put them in some little pots. And they, as Stephen said, they will last 3 weeks. If you change the water, they will last for 3 weeks from cutting fresh. So that's the way forward, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, somebody has put a comment on we put a little short out from one of our previous podcasts about how to protect your bulbs from squirrels. And they said they use hanging baskets turned upside down. I just thought I'd share this with everyone. We talked about putting chicken wire on. If they still get in, pop another one on at a different angle so it closes the holes up. So that's quite interesting. Hopefully that helps somebody. Or it says, or if just one, pop a piece of garden netting under it. It seems to deter them. So I don't know if they mean on the ground, because they don't like
Yes, I
walking
think
on it.
exactly. Yeah, just stop some scratching and digging.
Okay.
Yeah, we touch wood. We haven't got a problem with squirrels. We get the odd one, but they've not caused any problem. We've got a rogue rabbit at the moment that is digging holes everywhere.
Well, let's move swiftly on from that. And just a quick shout out to you, Sean, as well, because you say you're our novice gardener, but you're also our editor. And we've had a lovely comment from Cassie saying the editing is really helpful. So it's really great.
You're welcome.
They're enjoying it.
Well, we do try. I mean, whether it's the gardening videos or the podcast that people can also watch on YouTube, just to try and include things like photographs or very... Martin's demonstrations are very good. You know, if we're talking about how to do something, we'll get the camera right in there and show you where to prune it, or how to, how to do the thing and what it should look like before and what it should look like afterwards. I will admit that right at the moment, Jill looks like she's got a hat on from the lampshade behind, but I can't do much about that. But we do our best.
Yes, exactly. Can you edit that one out?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
We must, also say, you've talked about what we do, but you are a professional, television person. That's what you trained in.
Yes.
So, you are excellent at what you do, editing and directing and filming.
We've had our work at the BBC in the past, haven't we? But,
we have, yes.
Unfortunately, not so much work at the BBC these days. So, hey, let's do it
but
ourselves.
We move on.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
Good. Oh, that's lovely comments from everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you
great.
for all those lovely comments.
Yeah.
Keep them coming, of course. And if you've got questions, you want answering any gardening questions, I know it's a quieter time in the garden at the moment, but if you want to know anything planning for spring or what you should be pruning, then just drop us an email, info@potsandtrowels.com.
Lovely. Good stuff. Well, I think that's probably about it for this week, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch the gardening videos on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook. Our short reels are also on TikTok, and all the contact details and links to all the videos and the podcast episodes can all be found at potsandtrowels.com.